afternoon, good evening. How is everybody? Welcome to another episode of Roll Around, Find Out. Welcome to episode 50 of Roll Around, Find Out. This is a small podcast made for me, but if I would have told myself that I would have made it to 50 episodes, that would have been quite the marker to hit. Pretty proud of myself going through my library of episodes. Certainly some episodes more entertaining and informative than others, but at the end of the day, this is for me, and if anybody else gets use out of it, that is just the gravy on top of the mashed potatoes. Well, for this 50th episode, I was hemming and hawing on what topics should it be about. Would have been nice to maybe get an interview in with a guest that I really want to talk with. Sean McCoy, probably top of my list. Creator of Mothership. I forget, I think David is his name, for DWD Studios. Love Bare Bones Fantasy. The gamut of topics is endless. But I decided to sort of kind of revisit a topic because at the time this will drop, I have a couple episodes pre-recorded, so it'll probably be about a month. But at the time of recording, July 20th, I just purchased the Humble Bundle for Runequest. Runequest is the Chaosium mainstream version of a previous episode that I did of Mythras. I believe this Runequest is 4th edition, and I believe Mythras is based on 3rd edition Runequest. It's kind of confusing. I don't really know the history of it. I think at one point in time I did. It doesn't matter. Just know that Runequest has been around for a rather long time, and at some point in time, either through a license lapse or the open game license, another company, Design Mechanism, kind of purchased the rights to Runequest, had to make some changes, but like 95% of the game is the exact same as Runequest. And so for episode 15, I went all over it. I bought it. I bought the physical book maybe 2 years ago, and I was all about Mythras. I thought it was going to be everything I wanted. D100, roll under. I mean, that's the primary thing. It seemed to have a what would I say? Had a good pedigree. Dungeons and Dragons. I would put it in like if there were 3 pillars of TTRPGs, I would say obviously Dungeons and Dragons is number 1, Pathfinder number 2, and then me personally, I would say Runequest is number 3. It would go on the Mount Rushmore of TTRPGs. And so, for one reason or another, I purchased the Mythras, and I went over it, and man, did I hate it. The episode that I recorded is 2.5 hours. However, that did not include large portions of time where I paused to try and just figure out how in the heck do I create a character. And so I titled the episode, "It's as crunchy as chewing glass." I don't see myself ever playing it, but for this 50th episode, I wanted to sort of kind of dip back into this well and go over Runequest, talk about how it's different than Mythras. Basically, it's like in name only and the world setting of Glorantha. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. This bundle, though, again, by the time I post this, the episode will be so far out that the Humble Bundle deal will have expired. But this 18 item bundle for a minimum of $18, there's never been a better time to get into Runequest. A lot of it is their modern books, the Player's Handbook, Game Master Screen Pack, Bestiary. There are adventures. There is the Quick Start Guide. There is a guide to Glorantha, which is the world that everything is set in. It's kind of the keystone piece of what RuneQuest is all about. And it also comes with a coloring book. But seriously, for $18 to get all of these resources, that is an incredible deal. And I may or may not have talked about Humble Bundle before, but essentially it's video games, TTRPGs, other things that are offered at a significant discount. And the money used for those, I don't know the percentage, I don't know how it's calculated, but a lot of it goes to charity. And so for RuneQuest alone, $11,562 is being raised towards charity. What charity? Couldn't tell you, but pretty cool that this website exists. So if I were to go to Chaosium's website, here is RuneQuest. And if I scroll down here, they have the books and all of the prices. The main set is $120. Now, yes, that is for the physical copies, which should always cost more than a PDF. But jumping back to the Humble Bundle here, you are getting $309 worth of stuff for $18 or more. You could donate more if you wanted to. $18, it is quite the deal. One reason I've not been super pumped about RuneQuest is, yes, my Mythras experience, but also it's a financial commitment. We'll go over it. Just babbling here. There are pros and cons to RuneQuest. At the end of the day, if it's what you are excited about, go for it. I would never say to not play RuneQuest. The biggest criticism I can give is that it's probably not for me personally. Okay, so in that vein, it is expensive. It's $120 to get these books, and pros and cons across the board. It does not include this book, the Red Book of Magic, which is an additional $35. So right now we're at $150, and it's not in the what I would call core book. But when you read the description, if I can find it, it says, where would I find it? Maybe it's the back cover. Well, the gist of it is, it says it is an essential part of the game. Let's see if I can control F. Fine. Here we go. It's an essential expansion to the Runequest experience for players and game masters alike. So, pros and cons, ups and downs, hits and misses of Runequest. Okay, if you're gonna tell me it's essential, I would bundle it in like the beginner's kit or the main kit. But to say it's an expansion, that means to me optional. So you can't have like a required optional thing. So I'm just kind of confused by do I need this? Is it essential? Is it air? Is it water? Is it food for my life to play RuneQuest? I'm confused. Side tangent here. I was thinking about buying some Pathfinder books because I'm kind of getting into second edition, just dabbling here and there, wanting to learn about it. But almost a hard no when I was reading that they have a player's handbook, like the core player's handbook, and then they now have like a player's expansion book that has classes that should be in the core book. I'm explaining this terribly, but like from something that I read and something that I'm remembering, or probably more so misremembering, it was like there's melee and maybe one spell casting class in the core book. Now you got to buy a whole nother book to get more spell casting classes and maybe like one melee class. I get it. I understand. Expansion books are fine, but the way I was reading it, it was like, oh, well, if you really want to play this game, you got to buy all the books. And it was just a big turnoff to me. Okay, but back to RuneQuest. Kind of something that makes RuneQuest different than Dungeons and Dragons is, while in Dungeons and Dragons you do have like character backgrounds, you could be a soldier, you could be, I think in Ghosts of Saltmarsh, there's like a fisherman's background, and what those do is those grant you usually a proficiency in some skill, and there might be other features, but it's very surface level and kind of like min-maxing to, all right, well, if I really want to be a rogue, I don't really care what class I am, or excuse me, what background I have. For flavor reasons, I don't care. Just which one gives me the dexterity boost, the dexterity bonus. And so I would describe it as not very wide in character creation, though in Dungeons and Dragons there is good depth. In RuneQuest, a major pro is, I believe it has depth and width. It has a big focus on culture and community, and I'll read this. Culture and community. Adventurers are a product of their cultures and their clans, with compelling family histories, complete with all that entails. They begin play knowing not only who they are, who their family is, what clan they belong to, but with personal history that gives them experience and momentum going forward. Maybe I'm wrong, but in Dungeons and Dragons, you've got like your bonds and your alignment, and yes, your background, but it's like kind of up to you to piece it all together and come up with your backstory. And to a lesser extent, the same as here. It's you are your own individual. However, you are given a much larger base and platform of where to start your character. Like I said, more width along with the depth. Another, again, bouncing around, another huge bonus that Dungeons and Dragons doesn't have is that limbs can be disabled. You can target where you hit. You can, for flavor reasons in Dungeons and Dragons, say I hit in the arm, I stab in the gut, but there's not really much effect to that. But in Runequest, that is a major feature of combat. So there's a lot to be said for pros and cons. And I should have mentioned this sooner. Yes, I will be making a character. I've been mentioning that in a couple episodes, recent episodes, that used to be a big thing I did, is how long does it take to make a character? And for me, given the system, that was kind of like a judge of not necessarily how good the system is, but just, I guess to an extent, how simple the character creation system is. Okay, well, let's go. Well, I have this up here. So here's the design mechanism, and this is the company that makes Mythras. If it's for you, go and check it out. This is something that I need to do more research on. This Mythras Imperative. I am part of the Mythras Facebook group, and somebody mentioned what is Mythras Imperative, and it seemed like a rules light, or I'll say rules lighter version of Mythras, and it's also genreless. Ooh, I didn't know that was going to zoom in there. And this looks different, but I feel like I have something similar to this. Did they give a little tagline of it? Let's see. Complete open source that offers thrilling adventures in multiple genres based on the percentile dice, culture and profession rather than classes or levels. Gameplay is simple and intuitive. Comprehensive character creation. Okay. Like I said, I got to do more. Let's stay focused, Heath, for once. Yeah, right. Not going to happen. Okay. Let's open up the zip file. Okay, so with the Humble Bundle, it gave me a link to DriveThruRPG, and in my DriveThruRPG, I used the code or the link and got all 18 titles. I did not download all 18 titles, but just the ones that I was mostly interested in for the purposes of this podcast. So let's dive into the players. What do they call this? The player's guide. Artwork on the cover. Now, art is subjective, but when I look at this art, it's not a knock. It just is what it is. My son is getting into graphic novels. He just finished up the Amulet book series. If you have kids that are 8, 9, 10, 11 years old and they're into fantasy, recommend the Amulet book series. Go check it out. But I would liken the art in here to a teen to preteen graphic novel. Again, that's not a knock. It's just that's the style that I think this reminds me of. All right, this is 450 pages, and I'm going to read all 450 word for word. Not going to happen. I'm going to skip over everything and miss most of it. What is Runequest? Let's go over the history. It first appeared in 1978 as the first role-playing game published by the Chaosium, a quirky 3-person company from the San Francisco Bay Area. Runequest took the young world of role-playing games by storm. Dungeons and Dragons came out, I believe, in 74. So D&D was just picking up steam. Had been around for about 3, 4, 5 years when Runequest got on board. Took the young world of role-playing games by storm. It cast aside many of the approaches most other games took. Runequest has no character classes, no experience points, no levels, and far fewer restrictions on how weapons, armor, and spells can be used. It uses a percentile-based D100 system instead of one based on the 20-sided die. They want to be as clear as possible without using the name of, hey, we are not Dungeons and Dragons. Most importantly, instead of being set in a pastiche of medieval Europe and the stories of J.R.R. Tolkien, Runequest is set in Glorantha, a Bronze Age setting of myth and fantasy. This book is the 4th edition of the Runequest rules, written and published by Chaosium, although other companies have published licensed versions as well, most notably the Design Mechanism, who produced Mythras. All right, they talk about what is Glorantha, and that is the Bronze Age world that a lot of this takes place in, or actually what all takes place in. And we'll get into when we talk about magic that the world, that everybody has magic. It's a magical world, and Glorantha and its gods are the core of that world. They have these little, what would I say, small little text boxes off to the side, little notes, I guess. And they're scattered throughout, and this one, the name is weird. Maximum Game Fun. It basically says, hey, we've got a lot of rules in here. However, keep this principle in mind, the MGF. Whenever you apply the rules of RuneQuest, make it fun. What is the most fun way we can do this? And I like this, that there's 450 pages in the rule book, but if it's not fun, change it, alter it. I get the rules light vibe. I get the rulings over rules mindset, which I like a lot. Again, there's pros and cons to this RuneQuest, and at the end of the day, it's probably not for me, but you got to give credit where credit is due. All right. Unique features. Here we go. Everyone has magic. A central theme of Glorantha is the relationship between mortals and the gods, between the mythical and the mundane worlds. Gloranthian religion and magic are basic to existence and accepted by everyone. There are many characters, people in Dungeons and Dragons, they don't have magical abilities, they don't have spell slots, but here everybody can cast it. And remember, RuneQuest is classless. Think Knave, think well, for me, Knave is like my number one go-to for, that's where I first heard about classless. You can choose to use it or not use it. A basis of magic are runes. They're a key feature of RuneQuest and the Gloranthian setting. They are cosmic archetypes, the elements, the powers, and the forms that make up the universe. An adventurer's affinity with a specific rune affects their magical potential, personality, and even characteristics. Talked about this before, but your cult is very important to your character. Your kinship, your family is very important. Looking at the artwork here. Well done, well done. The importance of community. Again, you can see it's really a central feature. I like this. Been to Glorantha before. They say, hey, it's been around a long time. Here's what you need to know about the setting that we're in now. There's another box somewhere here that says how to convert from previous editions. It's really not that difficult. Big focus on it being a Bronze Age, but they do say like that is just like for flavor. If you really wanted to change it, you could. In Mythras, there is a fantasy, I'll say expansion, but it's not really an expansion, but there's a fantasy book that you can use, which converts a lot of settings and weapons and things to a more classic fantasy, more medieval setting. And I like that they have this because somebody might say, well, if it's not classic fantasy, then what is it? Well, here, keeping it fantastic. It's still, here we go. They are talking ducks and baboons, flying bulls, sentient fish, and numerous immortal beings and races. It's still fantasy. It's still made up. You can go wild with it. I like it. All right. Glorantha. Not going to get into it, but I do like the way this book is laid out, at least in the beginning here. They say, okay, what is Runequest? Why would you want to play it? What's the purpose? D100. It's really focused on family. Okay. Those are the main pillars of what Runequest are and why you would want to play it. The next section is the world of Glorantha, where all of the adventures take place, how gods tie in these ruins, what these all mean, and I'll tell you that being a noob to the system, these ruins, I don't know what they are. I think they're kind of like schools of magic. The descriptions, I don't know. My ignorance is off the chart with what ruins really, really are in RuneQuest. The world of Glorantha, these are kind of like the planes of existence in Dungeons and Dragons. But here it's Glorantha and much smaller setting than all of the different realms of Dungeons and Dragons. All right. Artwork. Let's go on to the next section. All right. The adventurers. I will come back to this. This is like the beginning of the character creation process. And I said I'll come back to it, but in theory, it should be very simple. There are 8 steps to follow. Choose your homeland, your family history, what ruins do you have an affinity towards, your characteristics, your occupation, the cult you're in, personal skill bonuses, and other information like a name, gender. Equipment is just like kind of thrown off. Oh, hey, don't forget you need a sword before you leave, and things like that. Okay, so we're gonna see how long that takes. Scrolling through here, actually, let's see, it is bookmarked. So let me go back up to the table of contents. And all right, game system skills, combat. Let's go to. Let's bounce around. Let's go to combat. All right. I just want to. I have not gone over this before. The first things that we talked about, I have gone over, but this is all new to me. I want to find the. like the choosing where you hit. Multiple activities. Let's see. Weapon use. The attack. An attack is an attempt to use a weapon to harm a target. An adventurer's melee or missile weapon skill provides the individual probability of succeeding with an attack. If the player rolls the adventurer's needed percentage or less on D100, the adventurer has succeeded and managed to hit their opponent. So, let's say the stat is strength. You roll under your strength, and if you do, you hit. If the attack strikes the opponent or is parried, damage is still rolled and compared to the defender's armor in case of a successful attack, or the defender's weapon if the attack is parried. How much damage this attack does depends on the type of weapon used, the kind of armor the target may be wearing to absorb the damage, and whether the defender succeeds with a parry or a dodge. The attack and parry results table on page 199, we're on 197, summarizes the results of different success levels of attacks. All right. Okay, resolution of melee. The simplest description of combat, I should have just read this, I guess. The simplest description of combat is that attacker rolls D100 to see if they succeed in attacking, and then a D20 for hit location. If the defender attempts to parry, they roll D100 to see if they succeed. One of the following conditions occurs. If the attacker succeeds and the defender does not, the defender takes damage in the hit location rolled on a D20. Okay? If the attacker and defender both succeed, the weapon or shield of the defender is affected. The weapon or shield of the defender is affected. What does that even mean? Next one. If the attacker fails, but the defender successfully parries with a weapon, the attacker's weapon takes damage. Oh, okay. That's interesting. If neither succeed, nothing is damaged. If the attacker and defender both succeed, the weapon or shield of the defender is affected. I don't know what that... Okay, well... All right. If you don't know, parry means you block an attack with a weapon. Let's jump down to the table. Holy jeez. All right. Normal attack versus a normal parry. Wow. Okay. A pro for Dungeons and Dragons. If you're new to the hobby, if you're new to role-playing games, yes, there's a lot to learn. Lots of jargon. But a major pro is I can't think of a time I've needed a chart to relay what is happening at the table. Sure, I have my character sheet which says, +3 to hit, +2 for damage, strength modifiers, etc. But it's all on the character sheet. Here I would need my character sheet and this printed out just to know what happens when I roll my dice. So when I go and talk about Mythras and I title episode 15 that it's as crunchy as glass, as chewing glass, here's why. All right. Normal parry versus normal attack. Attacker rolls normal damage. Defender's parrying weapon takes 1 HP damage if damage more than its current HP. Any excess damage goes to the affected hit location. Okay, so I successfully hit and they successfully parry. The parrying's weapon takes 1 HP of damage. If damage more... Can you throw like an is in there? Defender's parrying weapon takes 1 HP damage. If damage more than its current HP, any excess damage goes to the... Okay, okay, 199. Let's go to... Let's see, are there weapons in the table of contents? Equipment and wealth? I want to know, like, a sword. Just show me a sword. Can you just give me a sword? Looking for a sword here. That's... Nope. Okay, table of contents. Let's go back. Can you just give me the stats of a sword, please? Skills, combat, runes, passions, magic, spirit magic, rune cults, rune magic, shamans, equipment, and wealth. It's got to be in there. It's gotta. The hide of land, measurement of land, multiple hides, flocks and herds, temples, casting spells, ransom, taxes, the market, gifts, price list of goods. All right, we've got cost of clothing materials, winter cloaks, jewelry, meat beasts, cavalry beasts, riding beasts, cost of slaves, a human child. It's 35L, whatever L means. All right, good to know. There's slaves in here. Buying other animals. Oh, a knife. A stone knife. A stone naped tool used for cutting or scraping. Okay, so it's not a weapon. Expedition gear, backpacks, exotic goods, musical instruments, inns, food, labor, sages and scribes, drink. No swords. Okay, no swords. Great. How? Okay, well, I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to find where the swords are. All right, found it under combat, not under equipment. I personally wouldn't put it there, but I'm not making the game. Okay, so for our weapons, we've got a bunch of different stats, I guess. Category, name, base percentage, strength, dex, damage, HP, encumbrance, length, and then I don't know what SR or type are, so let's go over some of these. All right. Category. These are classified as either one-handed, two-handed, or used with both. A shield may be used along with a one-handed weapon, but cannot normally be used with two-handed weapons. Base. All right. This is the base chance for using the weapon. Add to the adventurer's manipulation skills category modifier. If homeland or occupation gives the adventurer an additional percentage with that weapon, add that percentage to the total. Okay. This is the base chance for using the weapon. Add to that. Okay. So, that interesting. So if I'm using, let's say, a short one-handed broadsword here, then I add 10 to my essentially like combat skill using it. But I guess I'm just confused why just because I have a weapon means I can use it more or less based on this number. The only thing that would make sense to me is if it is a bigger, more cumbersome weapon, that the number would be less, which it does appear to be so. A one-handed axe is 10. A two-handed, a dagger axe, weird, is a lower number, but because it's two-handed, it must be harder to use. You have to be stronger. Okay, I guess I get that. Strength dex. The minimum necessary strength and dex required to handle the weapon. Okay, that makes total sense to me. Damage. Expressed as a die roll. That makes sense. Easy. Okay, HP. How many hit points of damage the weapon takes while parrying before it breaks? All damage is cumulative. Better quality weapons may absorb more damage. Weapons can be repaired with a suitable craft skill. Okay, so let's go back to page 199 and see if we can find what we were figuring out. Okay. A normal attack versus a normal parry. Parrying weapon takes 1 HP of damage. Okay, that I totally get. If damage more than its current HP, when they parry, parrying weapon takes 1 HP damage if damage more than its current HP. If damage more than its current HP. Oh, okay. Okay, so that should be... I understand that they're limited for words here to fit everything, but I think you should say this. Parrying weapon takes 1 HP of damage if damage parried is more than its current HP. So every time you parry, and it's going to lose 1 HP, so you're going to get less and less life out of it, which means it's easier for the damage that it's receiving to be higher because its HP is lower, which means it becomes easier and easier to break every time you parry. Okay, I like it. Worded poorly, in my opinion. I do not know what a critical attack is or a special attack. But let's go to a normal attack versus a failed parry. This seems simple. Attacker rolls normal damage, and the defender takes damage and rolls on the fumbles table. All right, what page is the fumbles table on? Dodge results. Is this the fumble table? It's the dodge results. So where do I find the fumble table? You might be thinking, Heath, you're wasting my time scrolling through here it is. But I would say my time is being wasted. If you're going to tell me to go check the fumbles table, can you tell me where it is? Because it's not bookmarked. It's not in the table of contents. So I am just flipping through until I have to find it. All right, so you roll a D100, and let me just randomly pick a number. Let's say 68. Vision impaired. Okay, so I tried parrying, but I failed. Lose 50% effectiveness on attacks and parries. Takes 1d6 rounds unengaged to clear vision. Look at the math I gotta do. Lose 50% effectiveness on attacks and parries. So my stat gets lessened by 50%. That makes sense. I don't know. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Combat terms. Okay. Here we go. Armor points. Armor and some magic spells can nullify points of damage. Armor absorbs an amount of damage. Okay. Makes sense to me. Critical success. Let me zoom in here. A blow so well placed that extraordinary damage is done, or is blocked in the case of a parry. The chance of this happening is 5% of the adventurer's modified chance to succeed. Okay. 5% of the adventurer's modified chance to succeed. So you got to math that out to figure out what 5% of your stat is. Okay. So let's go back to the table. See, it's crunchy. You got to have this. Now you need this table in front of you. So you have a critical attack versus a, let's say they fumble, they fail their parry. Inflicts max special damage. Okay, what is special damage? Well, here's damage. Once armor points are subtracted from points of damage, the remaining points of damage, if any, are the damage done to the target. Okay, that makes sense. Damage points. When dice are rolled to determine damage, their total plus any additions for weapon type or magic are the damage points. Okay, got it. Special success. A well-delivered blow which might cause special damage depending on the weapon type. The percentage chance of a special success is 20%. Okay. So let's go and try and find a special damage. Critical parries, a successful parry, special parries. Oh, I guess there are more descriptions here outside of the chart. Dodge. I would think attacking is before parrying and dodging. So movement. Strike ranks. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is a strike rank? Bookkeeping. After all attacks have resolved, the players and game master should ensure that all changes in the status of the characters have been recorded. Damage healing. They should note all successful uses of magic. If the combat is not resolved, play proceeds to the next melee round. Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. Okay. The major criteria. Weapon length. Prepare. Episode 50, ladies and gentlemen. I can't even. Preparing or changing a weapon. Limit movement. Multiple activities outside of melee. Multiple activities within melee. Okay. Movement. That is first. We've got combat. We've got movement. Weapon use. Okay, here's the attack. Okay, I think this is what I was looking for. If the attack strikes the opponent or is parried, damage is rolled and compared to the defender's armor. How much damage this attack does depends on the type of weapon. Okay, the attack and parry results table summarizes the results of different successes. Since combat is a stressful situation, if the attack roll is successful, the adventurer gets an experience check for that skill. So every time you hit, you check experience. Okay, great. Nothing. Something else to keep track of. Okay. I don't even remember what I'm looking up. Oh, specials. Yeah. Okay. If multiple combats, ranking. Oh, jeez. Parry. Okay, so nowhere in the attack section does it mention special. Control F. Special. Okay, well, there's 327 times that special is mentioned, but it should highlight when it comes up. And it is not in the attack section. Awesome. Okay. Special result. Special parries. Against a special attack. What is a special attack? Special damage. So we have criticals and specials. Okay, summary of combat. A special success does special damage. Impale, slashing, crushing, plus damage bonus. Okay. But how do you get a special? What is... Just reading. Just being confused. Special damage. All right, here we go. Its own section. We found it. Rolling a special success or critical hit when making an attack causes that attack to do additional damage. A special success is any roll that is equal to or under 1/5 of the chance to succeed. The nature of the additional damage depends on the type of weapon the adventurer is using. Okay, so I like this as a mechanic, though. Are specials and criticals the same? We'll have to find that out. But you want to roll under, and so this special damage is saying if you roll really far under the 1/5 of your stat, you rolled so well that you're going to get an extra effect. Okay, so if it's a thrusting weapon, they do impaling damage. Well, what does impaling? Well, here it says impaling weapons do double normal damage. So a broadsword normally doing 1d8 plus 2 does 2d8 plus 2. Any damage bonus or magical modifiers to damage are applied normally. The impaling weapon is also stuck in the body of the target and may need to be freed to use further. See below for more information. Well, that's a bummer. My weapon is stuck inside them. Okay, impaling okay. Okay, we have thrusting weapons does impaling. Any thrusting weapon and most missile weapons have the chance to do impaling damage. Impaling takes the place if the attack roll is a special success. Thus, a spearman with a 40% chance of success that rolls 8 or less on a D100 has impaled their opponent unless the blow is parried. Impaling has the following effects: double damage. Okay, weapon stuck in target. The impaling weapon is stuck in the body of target and can only be extracted if the attacker makes a D100 roll equal to half the attacker's weapon skill. If this roll fails, the weapon remains stuck in the target and is jerked out of the attacker's hands. If uninterrupted for a melee round, an adventurer that has made a successful impale has their weapon's skill chance of retrieving the impaling weapon at the end of the melee round. This action takes place in the next melee round after the impalement, not the same one. If the attacker cannot remove the weapon due to unsuccessful rolls, the Game Master should assume they have it out after 5 melee rounds. If the adventurer fumbles the withdraw, the weapon breaks, no matter what its hit points were at the time. If the weapon failed to penetrate armor with the impale, it is not stuck and there is no need to extract it. The impaled target may try to pull out the weapon. Even if under attack, they may ignore the attacker and try to pull out the weapon. The chance to withdraw the weapon is equal to strength plus con times 2 or less on a D100. An impaled target that moves while still impaled takes half the weapon's normal damage each round. The impaled target cannot turn to meet a foe approaching from the sides or behind without taking this additional damage. However, assuming the blow did not incapacitate the target, they can meet foes attacking head on. Well, what if they were struck from behind? The impaled target cannot be healed until the weapon is removed. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know, you don't have to know all the rules. Like, if you have a thrusting weapon, then you don't need to know the rules for slashing or crushing. But the Game Master does. Oh my god. That's just thrusting. That's not cutting or cut and thrust or blunt. Oh my god. Confirmed confused. The crunch is insane. This I don't really even understand. How you get it out? Okay. The impaling weapon is stuck and can only be extracted if the attacker makes a D100 roll equal to half the attacker's weapon skill. So I don't know. Let's just say 50. To get it out, you have to roll under 25. So, okay, yay, you rolled really well. You have a special attack. You're going to deal special damage, but hang on, because it's special, it's going to get stuck. And now that it's stuck, it's going to be really hard to get it out. That doesn't sound very special. That sounds very oops, critical fail or fumble. I guess there are benefits in that maybe you want to leave it in because he can't move or take damage. He can't turn or he'll take damage. I get all that, and that is very, very cool. But man, to know that and keep track of all of that is crazy. Just absolutely crazy. All right. I want to know how magic works. So I'm going to click magic, although it could be under combat, like casting a magic spell in combat. So let's actually go back there and check this out. Weapon use. From what I remember of Mythras, there was only like one offensive spell, and it was just like hurt. Weapons, weapon types, swords and daggers, unarmed attacks, rates of fire, bows, crossbows, range. Okay, armor. I kind of want to look at armor here. Another cool thing is it is pieced together: head, arms, chest, abdomen, legs. So love this. This for me personally is like, heck yeah, Diablo 2, baby. Getting a full set of gear. I love this. The head, torso, chest, arms, they all have a hit location, how much damage they absorb, what encumbrance they have, and if it affects your ability to move quietly. This I love, love, love. I would incorporate this into more role-playing games. Okay, armor. Okay, shield. How does a shield work? It boosts your strength. It doesn't have a hit location that I see, unless it will just tell me that, like, oh, it takes place of your arm. A shield is used to absorb damage before it gets to the bearer of the shield. An adventurer may use their shield relevant shield skill to parry or attack. A shield may not be ready for use when the adventurer is using two-handed weapons. A shield may be paired with one-handed weapons. An adventurer can use any other shield at half the skill rating of the best shield skill the adventurer has, or at their base chance plus any example. After several adventures, Vasana now has a 72% medium shield skill. She can also use a large or small shield. Oh, okay. There's shield sizes, right? The shield statistics table describes how many points a shield can absorb before the bearer is damaged. As with a weapon, a shield user must make a successful parry roll to interpose the shield between their body and the incoming attack. Size. Relative size of shield. A small shield is about 30 to 35 centimeters in diameter and can be held with one hand grip. A medium is 60 centimeters in diameter and is commonly used by. A large shield is at least a meter or larger in diameter and may be round or oval. Shield types. Okay, shield attacks. Shield hit locations. Okay. A small shield shields an arm. Okay, this makes total sense to me. So when they roll that d20 for hit location, if it's an arm, then you go to here and you see that the HP is 8. So you're going to lose 1 HP for a small shield. And absorb. Okay, yeah, okay. So let's say they roll 5 damage. Then the HP of the shield goes from 8 to 7 and it absorbs all of it. If the HP is now down to 4 and they deal 5 damage, then the shield goes down to 1 HP, I believe. It goes down 1 HP, and then the damage carries over. If it was at 4, it goes down to 3, so 2 damage carries over. I think that's right. A medium shield, arm, and 1 other hit location of the player's choice. You must have to mark that before combat, because otherwise you're just going to always do whatever hit location. And a large shield shields your arm and 2 other hit locations contiguous with each other. So you have to, like, it has to be touching. It can be like your feet and your legs. Something like that. Okay. All right. Still no magic. We're on shields. Chariots, mounted combat. Okay. Fighting in phalanx formation. Right. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I will pause it and try and find magic, because here's ruin, so it's probably in here, but I will figure it out. All right. I am back and I am confused. It's actually significantly later, and despite it being 2 weeks since the 4th of July, my neighbors are lighting off fireworks, so if you hear anything in the background, that is what that is. All right, magic. I understand, I think, how 2 aspects of magic works. For the sake of time, I am not going to fully understand this system. The rune magic is one that I don't really understand how it works. You get like a different set of rune points. The other 2 are spirit magic and sorcery. Couldn't really tell you the difference, but those are a much more traditional type of magic, I do believe, from what I've read. So yeah, here's magic points. They represent the quantity of life energy an adventurer can use to cast spells. It's what we would typically think of. Rune points are initiates and rune masters of rune cults permanently sacrifice points of POW, I believe that is short for power, to their god to gain access to the cult's rune magic. Called rune points, these points of POW form the connection between the cultist and the deity. If an adventurer is a member of more than one cult, they must have a separate pool of rune points devoted to each god. The minimum number of rune points an adventurer have with a single cult is 1, and the maximum number of rune points is equal to their charisma characteristic. Spent rune points are replenished by worship ceremonies and other activities. That's kind of the gist of it. You sacrifice your power points to get spells. Let's see. Increased chance of success with magic. An adventurer can increase the chance of casting a magical spell or their chance of success by doing one of the following: meditating or ritual practices, augmenting with dance, sing, speak a magical language, or another appropriate skill. Again, there is so much to get into. I can't get into it in this podcast. All right. Spirit magic, let me find how this works. Essentially, you roll under your, I think it's your power stat, and then if you are successful, then the spell goes off. You spend your points. Actually, I think you spend your magic points first. Then you see if you're successful. I could be wrong on that. And then some spells have resistances, and they go into how resistance works. This little window here probably explains more. But then they get into strike rank, which is something I laughed at earlier. I have no idea. One big sticking point I had with Mythras was how many spells do you start with? And I couldn't really find an answer. I think somebody on YouTube had an answer, and maybe on a forum I found the gist of it was like, well, basically the GM decides. Is it a really high fantasy world? Then you'll have like 5 or 6 spells. Is it low fantasy? Then you'll start with 1 or 2. And so there's more substance to that here in Runequest, but I'm still confused, and I'm going to read this because I've read it multiple times, and no, I am not the smartest person, but I do not understand how this works. Okay, so this is for spirit magic. Limits to spell holding. Each point of spirit magic requires 1 point of charisma. An adventurer's maximum potential spell capacity equals their charisma. Right? Actually, I'm going to pull up. I opened up a bunch of tabs here. Here is a pre-made character from the starter set. And if I go to the second page, charisma here is 19 for this pre-made character, Vasana, Farnan's daughter. So, okay, she has a charisma of 19. Let's go back, because I think that's who they talk about here. Okay, example, Vasana with a charisma of 19, yep, can hold 19 points of spirit magic in her mind. Okay, so that I totally understand. Her charisma is 19. She has 19 points to where she can cast spells. Okay? Her spells are mobility, 1 point. Demoralize, 2 points. Heal 3, Blade Sharp 4, Counter Magic 3, Protection 4, and Strength 2 points. So let's see if I can figure this out. Her spells are Mobility, 1 point. Demoralize, 2 points. So we're at 3 points. And then Heal 3, Blade Sharp. Did I say 2? I meant 3. Sorry. 1 plus 2 is 3. Heal 3, Blade Sharp, Counter Magic, Protection, and Strength are 2 points. So we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right. It does add to 13. I think in my head when I did this, not recording, I added up Heal as 3, Blade Sharp as 4, Counter Magic as 3, because I guess I don't understand what this number here next to the words mean, but at the end it says 2 points. All right. An adventurer can voluntarily give up knowing a spirit magic spell to make room for different new spells. If they do, they must relearn the spells as if it were new to them. So, huge improvement over Mythras. Kudos, Runequest. You tell me right here what I start with for my magic points and how many spells I know. Great. Okay. So many things to talk about with magic here, but I just can't. They give you a big long list of spells. Okay, Rune Cults. I'm just completely skipping this. Yeah. What was this one? I read this one. Rune Lords. Okay, yeah, I don't even know. Skipping. Let's go to come on. Oh. Okay, Rune Magic. right? I don't even know what that whole last section was about. Rune magic. This is one that I really know nothing about, but I'll try to see if I can get it on the 15th time reading through. Okay, rune points. When an adventurer joins a cult as an initiate, they permanently sacrifice 1 point of POW to their deity. Yeah, okay. Gaining rune magic spells. Upon joining a cult, an adventurer has access to any of the common rune magic possessed by the cult. These rune spells are common to most cults. Cults also possess one or more special rune magic spells. An adventurer gains access to cult special or associated cult rune spells at the same time they sacrifice POW for rune points. Are you with me? For each point of POW sacrificed, the adventurer acquires the right to cast an additional cult special rune magic spell. Okay, I get it. Sacrifice your stat, learn a spell. Casting a rune spell. The adventurer must roll a d100 equal to or less than a rune affinity the adventurer shares with the spell. So here's an example. After his injuries in the caves of chaos, Voster, son of Pygeme, decides to cast a heal a wound on himself. He has 1 rune point remaining after the battle and 7 magic points. Heal a wound is a common rune spell marked with the magic rune, which means it can be used by any cult rune. Jesus. The 7 Mothers cult runes are Moon, Fertility, and Death, and Vaster's Moon Affinity is 90% a clear choice. Because Heal Wound uses magic points to restore hit points, Foster decides to spend 6 magic points on the spell along with 1 rune point to cast it. He rolls against his moon affinity with a result of 27, a clear success. He checks off the rune affinity for an experience check later and crosses off the rune and magic points for the spell. He applies the 6 points of healing to his wounded flesh, choosing his worst injury first. I mean, I guess I understand it on some level, but I would really need to play that out to see, like, okay, it's a rune spell, so I have to use a rune point. It must be 7 magic points for 7 points of healing. Okay, I guess that makes sense. All right, here's all the different rune spells. Skipping. We would literally be here all day. Let's get to... Holy baloney, should have went up to the table of contents. Okay, this one I don't even know. There's shamans, and then there's another section here. The spirits in the spirit world. Okay, yeah. Okay, remember, we're talking about the different types of magic. Ruin magic, spiritual magic, and sorcery. And then all of a sudden there's shamans and other stuff tied in. Well, just give me the 3 types of magic. Okay, so now I got to go through sorcery, and spiritual are basically the exact same. If I had to liken it to D&D, it would be like, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I would say it's like different schools of magic. There's different spells, and based on your family history, you probably can qualify for one category and not the other. I'll be honest, I don't really know. And without going into everything else in this book, that's what I'm going to talk about for the player's handbook. We're going to make a character. We're going to go through the 8 steps that it said, and we're going to see how long that takes. Let's see if I can quickly find those 8 steps. Let's go back up to adventurers. Yep, okay, right there. All right. Also, if you're watching this, I learned that Runequest is labeled as mature 16 and older because some of the artwork is just straight up nudity. Not used to seeing that in any other TTRPG game. It was actually rather shocking. Okay. This is a 210 page book. This is the bestiary. And here's the table of contents. Elder races, chaos monsters, giant arthropods, animals, spirits, terrors, and flora. Let's go to terrors. And one strike right off the bat is not every monster in here has art, which I know is not necessarily uncommon. But I would just like to see more. So here's Quim, spawn of Thed and the Devil. Ooh, it was kind of creepy. Everything you'd want to know about it, their attacks, their hit locations. Let's see. One pro, here's a major pro. Lot more information than you get in the D&D bestiary, which is basically just stat blocks. If you're lucky, you get some description on it, but maybe it's like a history of it, not really how to play it out in combat. So, pros and cons, but again, I go to depth and width, and Runequest in the bestiary here does a good job at width and depth. All right, that's it for the bestiary. Going through the files that I downloaded, I found this to be rather interesting. I'm going to assume this comes in the starter set, but here are 7 pages of player handouts. These are things that you should give your players in order to understand how to play the game, which, if you ask me, is a total fail. Like, everything you need should be on the character sheet, and the GM should dictate the rest. Now, yes, the GM should know all this information. If they have their GM's panels up, screen up, these would definitely be in here. But the fact that you have to give players, let's see, can I get the name of it? Okay. Starter set reference sheets. I guess it doesn't say players. Okay. I take it back. It doesn't say. I thought it was a player reference sheets. So this would definitely be for the GM, but players would need to know this too. But I mean, it's shocking to me that you have a table here to interpret the roles. Dungeons and Dragons is, here's the DC number. Crit on a 20, crit on a 1, DC number, roll the beat. Bada boom, bada bing. Another one is Runes Summary. I can't imagine memorizing these, but sure. Augmenting with passions, runes, and skills. I don't even really know what augmenting is, but if you've got a magic spell, you can essentially, like, let's say you have fire. You can use fire to augment your weapon. You can make it a flame blade, things like that. Another example they read is you have a sky ability. And imagine in D&D you roll a perception check and you need to, like, get a view from above. Well, here in RuneQuest, if you have a sky ability, you can use that to augment your proficiency check or your perception check and get a view from above. That's my understanding of it, at least. Hit locations, I think that makes sense. for a player to have. Shield hit location, that makes sense. Common rune magic, I don't know the importance of that. This we went over again, kind of crazy that a player would need this. Like if I roll and I hit, but you also roll and you dodge, what happens? If I roll and miss, but your dodge is successful, what happens? So there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25 things to know. And it's actually probably 50 because the attacker has to know something and the defender has to know something. So pretty wild. Oh, plus, okay, that's just attack and parry. Then there's a whole nother attack and dodge. Oh my god. Here's something that I skipped, the strike rank tracker. I'm not even going to attempt to go over this. Maybe it's the best thing since sliced bread, but hard pass for me. More ruins, like, oh, right, your rune quest, I get it. But when I read these, I don't care. Like, I'll read the most simple one here. Okay, here's a triangle. A condition. Law. Triangle. This rune describes the immutable laws of the universe and is typically associated with sorcery. Okay. Is that something you wear on your armor? Is that something you paint on a cave wall? Is that something that's carved into a stone? You carry it in your pocket? I have no idea. If there's anybody listening to this that loves Runequest, you're probably thinking I'm a complete idiot. And guess what? You're right. All right, these pre-made character sheets for the starter quest, I might go into more detail, but you pretty much just have this up for reference for me to know, like, if I'm even in the ballpark of what should be in there. All right, what else? We're almost ready for the character creation. I mentioned this a long time ago somewhere that for Call of Cthulhu, there are solo quests in there. And in Mythras here, in this humble bundle, there's a 60-page solo quest. Oh my god. I thought it was going to be like 15, 20. This is on the list of potential podcast episodes because, you know, as much as I'm pooping on RuneQuest, you don't ultimately know until you play it, right? So let's kind of sort of like put my money where my mouth is and let's run it for a bit and see if I like it or not. I did that with Dragonbane and I really liked it. So and I'll say with the Dragonbane one, I liked that it was scripted. I've talked about in a couple episodes ago about solo RPGs, and I'm not understanding, appreciating playing solo RPGs correctly in doing the delicate balance of being a GM and a player. Like, how can you know the secrets that the GM knows and pretend to not know as a player? But here with this 60-page story, I mean, there's going to be a story to unfold, and I imagine it's very railroady, but I'm okay with that for a solo adventure. And so this is piquing my interest. I am excited about that. Even if the character creation process, which I think is time for, even if I'm not a fan of that. Let's just one more. Weapons and equipment. 130 pages. Let's find table of contents. Let's go to where's weapons? Let's go to melee weapons. And okay. Just can be thrown. I'm looking for like, oh, what's the difference between a light mace and a heavy mace? So let's see. Can I find... Okay, light mace. A haft with a metal or carved stone weight at one end, suitable for bashing and crushing. That's a light mace. A heavy mace. A haft with a heavy weight at one end. The weight may be spiked or flanged. Why can't a light mace be spiked? Mace, two-handed. A two-handed mace with a longer haft, but otherwise identical to the one-handed variety. Well, let's go up. Does it do more damage? Spears. Well, we were just talking about maces. Where's the maces chart? Swords, spears. Oh, I didn't scroll up. My fault. Mace. One-handed. Does 1d6 plus 2. Mace one-handed. Oh. One-handed, two-handed, one-handed. Oh. Mace heavy, mace light. Oh, the name. Okay. My bad. I'm dumb. A light mace deals 1d6 plus 2. A heavy mace deals 1d8 plus 2 plus dB, which I don't care to look up. It's going to be some other higher number. But the difference is you need to have higher strength. Okay, yeah, totally makes sense to me. Okay, that was just something I wanted to check out. All right, well. The time has come. All right, let's make a character. I was going to print out a character sheet. Actually, I did, but when I did Mythras, that was all audio, 100%, but now I do screen records, and so I can do the form fillable, it's called PDF, which is not my preferred method, but to get the visual effect, I will do that. Okay, so 8 steps, right? Follow these 8 steps to create your adventurer. Each step is explained in more detail on the pages that follow. Step 1, Homeland. Choose your adventurer's homeland. Okay, step 1, Homeland. My options are Sartar, Esrolia, Grazelands, Prax, Lunar Tarsh, Old Tarsh. Those are the options. So I just on the name like either the Grazelands or Old Tarsh. Let's see, Grazelands. Actually, let me start a timer because I'm probably going to pause it and I want to know how long it takes me. Stopwatch. All right, there we go. All right, Grazelands are a region of grassy hills and valleys inhabited by the Grassland pony breeders. This semi-nomadic tribe herds horses and rules over Ennersfield peasants, originally from Estolia, Sartar, and Tarsh. They are ruled in turn by the Feathered Horse Queen, a powerful earth priestess. Earth. Thought we were in a magical world. Cultural skills for pony breeder adventurers are provided on page 62, and the full write-up of the Grazelands, including local modifiers, is on page 114. Okay. Stereotypes. The Society of the Pony Breeders is rigid and patriarchal, with everyone's place determined by age and birth. You know what? For the sake of time, well, you know what? Okay. Old Tarsh. What is Old Tarsh? A group of tribes centered on the foothills of Mount Kiro Fin that refuse to acknowledge the lunar dynasty of Tarsh, remaining loyal to the Shaker priestess. Once the core of the kingdom of Tarsh, the tribes of Old Tarsh have marginalized and survive by hunting and raiding. Stereotypes. The Old Tarshites are poor but proud and fierce. They view themselves as the rightful rulers of Tarsh and see the lunar Tarshites as temporary usurpers. They are notorious for being both vengeful and indulgent. Sure, let's be a horse grazer. Okay, so looking at the character sheet, let's come up with a name. What's a Grazeland's name? Let's go with Brickster. Let's go Brickin. Crusty Butt. Brickin. Crusty Bun. Oh, I like that I type a Y, but it looks like a V. Great, cool. Cultural skills. Okay, I gotta go to page 62 for cultural skills. And remember that I'm on page 25. Okay, cultural skills. Ride a horse. All right, cultural skills. Cultural skills. Family events, holdings, mount. Agility, communication, knowledge. Ride horse. Where do I find culture? Let's control F. I knew this was going to happen. Oh no, I want control F on this guy. Control F. Okay. Colt. Where's... Okay. I don't see culture. Cultural is definitely not on this page. Okay. So now I have to assume that it's ride horse. So... Control F. Ride. Ride, not on there. Horse, not on here. Okay, where do I put that? Other skills? Riding a horse is plus 35. All right, off to a terrible start. Speak own language. Control F. No language. No speak. I know horse isn't on here. Okay, so that's other skills. Sure. Horse tongue, which must be my cult's language or my culture's language as a Grazelander. Customs. Sure, whatever that means. It's just set to 25. Okay. Herd. Oh, here's ride. Why did I search ride before? RIDE. What? Okay, well, now I'm confused. Horse. It says it's 5, but it's plus 35. So I'm just going to write that in there. Plus 35. Okay. Let me delete horse from down here. Oh, man. It's going to take forever. Speak own language. Okay, well, now I can't trust the control F. My life, I don't know. I don't know the meaning of life. Magic, melee, missiles, shields, natural weapons. I would think it'd be under knowledge. Alchemy, animal lore, battle, bureaucracy, lore, cult lore, customs. Oh, customs was one, right? So, local customs is 25. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm going to put in Gray's Land Pony Breeder is 25. Okay. Language. Is it on the first page? Oh. Rune points, magic, weapons, combat notes. Boat, climb, dodge, drive, jump, swim. Communication. It's got to be under communication. Speak other language. Okay, here we go. Speak other language. Speak own language. Okay, all right. I see it. It's coming together. Pure horse tongue is 50. Okay. That's speak own language. Okay, so put it down here. 50. Speak other language is trade. Hang on. Trade talk. And that is plus 10%. Okay. Let's see. Customs I've got. All right. Herd. Herd is plus 35%. Okay. And spirit combat. So that is under magic. I found that one. I got it. We are at plus 15. All right. Sweet. We got that done. And that took me 10 minutes. Okay. Now we have to go back up to page 25 because I had to go to another page. Right. Grazelands. Okay. Local. Let's see. Cultural skills for pony breeder adventurers are provided on page 62, and the full write-up of the grasslands, including local modifiers, is on page 114. All right, here's everything I'd want to know. Oh, names. Okay. Let's see. What did I pick? Brickin' Krusty Bun. Oh, yeah, for sure. That name fits. I am not reading every single word. Climate, regions, okay, yeah. Different locations, all right. Regions. Do they give me bonuses if I'm from a certain region? I don't see any numbers. Let's say I'm from the Dragonspine Ridge. These mountains rise abruptly from the surrounding hills and are sharp, almost triangular. Their angular shape and steep sides make them extremely difficult to cross except at Dragon Pass. They are the backbone of the Dragon Shaharkazil, covered in earth and vegetation. Okay. Nothing seems to be relevant for my stats. Climate, religion, map of the area, politics. I guess I would write this down if I really cared, but I don't think I really care. So, okay, let's go page 24. 8 steps, and if they all took 12 minutes, 80, 96 minutes. Okay, hour and a half to make a character. We're on track. Family history. Develop the family history for your adventurer and their own history prior to their life of adventure. I just make it up. All right, let's go to the table of contents, see if we can get pre-generated adventurers. Oh. Well, I didn't know that these were in here. Or if I did know, I forgot. I think it's very important that they have pre-generated characters. So you know, like, what goes into a stat block. Okay, well, it should be labeled. So let's go find step 2. Family history, okay? Your adventurer's family history strongly influences their drives and passions. Occupations are largely hereditary in Glorantha, as is membership in most cults. This information can be written in the notes section of the adventurer sheet or on a separate piece of paper. You can also skip the family history process entirely, which allows for a much faster adventurer creation process at the cost of a fuller, more complex background and deeper integration into Glorantha and its recent history. See skipping family history. Okay, if we skip it, step 2, family history is optional. It can take quite a while to go through and may be inappropriate for one-shot games. If you do not want to use the family history section, do the following. Runequest. You cannot believe how thankful I am you have this. And the fact that you even state that, let me get it right, it can take quite a while to go through. Hey, I'm going to go back to it. Width and depth, right? They give you the width. It's there if you want it, but I appreciate that they give you the option to ignore it. The maximum game fun rule, right? If it's not fun for you, let's skip it. So for me personally, it's not fun. Let's skip it. Let's do what they say. Add up to 3 additional passions to start at 60% each. Okay, I don't know what a passion is, but I'm going to put 60, 60, 60 as a reminder to me that I know I can do that in the future. Add 20% to one passion of your choice. Okay, plus 20%. And that barely fits. Add 10% plus 10%. Shortcut version of the family history. If you want a quicker version of the family history section to only determine your adventurer's prior background, but not that of the adventurer's parents or grandparents, skip ahead to the year 1622. Okay. Interesting. Not skipping any years. Oh my god. They have like eras. Wow. Wow. Okay, can I just get to step 3? Step 3. All right. Hey, that was quick. Nice job. Every adventurer is tied to several of the runes introduced on pages 14 through 15. These rune affinities represent the strength and nature of your adventurer's presence in both the middle world and the gods world of Glorantha. 3 categories of runes make up an adventurer: elemental, power, and form. This section describes the effects your adventurer's rune affinities will have on them. As with skills and personality traits, rune affinities are expressed as a percentile chance of success. A rune affinity with a rating of 0% has no chance of success, while an affinity of 95 almost always succeeds. Yeah, your rune affinities are directly tied to your adventurer's ability to use your cult's ruin spells. So keep that in mind when assigning the initial values. Okay, so shouldn't I have a cult before getting a ruin? Let's see what it says. To join your desired cult, your adventurer must have a score of at least 50% in one of the ruins affiliated with that deity. It is recommended that your adventurer share at least 2 ruins with the deity if possible. The higher the ruins affinities ratings are, the better your adventurer is at using the deity's rune magic. Got it? The ruins of the gods described in this book are listed below, and cult descriptions are provided on pages 288 to 331. So oh, okay. Ruins and cults. Well, I want to go back up to the... Okay, I got to remember page 45. I want to go back up to my... Oh, it's page 24, I think. My homeland, because I think, didn't my homeland... Okay, common cults. I have to write this down. Yelm, Ernalda, Hume, Act, Aceres, and Orlanth. I mean, you should be getting the impression that, like, Glorantha, the setting, is one with the rules of Runequest, because the setting, like, directly impacts your stats for your character. Okay. Shoot. So what page was I on? Okay. Runes and cults. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to choose from. I'm sure I can pick anyone, but I'm going to go with where I think it fits best with my culture. All right. Are these in alphabetical order? Yes, they are. Okay. Yelm, the sun horse. That makes sense. Ernalda, Earth Queen. Humek, god of death and war. Aceres, god of communication and trade. And Orlanth, bear god. All right. I don't even have an idea in mind for the character I want, but I'm going to try and go with a Han Solo type character. Very charismatic, but selfish, and ideal in trade for the best price. Money. I'm motivated by money. And so I'm going to go with Aseres, god of communication and trade. Page 298. Well, I want movement. Where's... okay, I don't know. Shocker. I don't know what to do next. But I am going to be Aseres. So let me delete all of these in my Control F menu. Aseres. All right, they are mentioned 77 times. Okay, let's go back up. The 6 elemental ruins represent the raw essence of the cosmos. Okay, choosing your elemental ruins. I am a Grazeland pony breeder. Okay, hang on. Let's read it. Reading is hard. Choose 3 elemental ruins to be your primary, secondary, and tertiary ruin affinities. The primary ruin starts at a 60% affinity, then 40, then 20. The other 3 elemental ruins start at 0 unless otherwise raised. Add any cultural ruin modifiers based on your adventurer's homeland. Oh my god, I am... Okay. Elemental ruins. So that is here. My fire is... grass... Fire/sky ruin. Well, it only says fire on here on the character sheet, so let's do plus 10. Okay, they only want the number, no plus. 10, okay. Primary elemental ruins. Where do these go? Oh, ruin affinities. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. So it was harmony and movement. So I only get 2? Some get 3. Okay. Choose 3 elemental ruins to be your primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay. So I'm getting confused between elements and... Choose your elemental ruins. Choose 3 elemental ruins to be your primary, secondary, tertiary. Okay, so now let me... Okay, so now it makes a little bit of sense to me. Just a little bit. Where's the chart of ruins? Okay, right here. All right. Fire and sky, I get a bonus to. The sky is different from the air, for air separates the sky and the earth. Air is the 5th born, the son of the earth and sky. He is the breaker of laws, destroyer of heaven, fighter against darkness, and liberator of the sun. He usually manifests as a storm god. Okay, interesting. Darkness. The most ancient, the firstborn from whom all elementals were born, or descended. Darkness was the first element to arise out of the primal chaos. I have no idea like what this even means, why it matters. Moon is this little accepted amongst her peers outside the lunar empire. She has hardly any presence at all, although the moon is sometimes considered a condition rune. I have no idea what that means. Okay, back to the character sheet. Let's go 60, 40, and 20. Well, let's go darkness 60. Fire would be 40, but I get a bonus, so I'm going to make that 50. And then actually I'm going to go 20 for fire, and which means it would be 30 because I get my 10 bonus. And then I'm going to go 50 for air. No, not 50, 40. 40 for air. Okay, and then 0 for all the rest. What does that mean? I have no idea. I put numbers in places. And let's see, my cult is a series. Okay. What? Okay, reading's important. What do the elemental ruins mean for my adventurer? Elemental ruins affect both the personality and the characteristics of your adventurer. So I guess role-playing purposes. Your choice of your primary elemental ruin skews your adventurer towards the following personality characteristics. All right, I have darkness first. The darkness rune is characteristic of hungry, secretive, and large adventurers. You get a size bonus. Okay, I might change that. The water rune is characteristic of mercutial, changeable, and quick adventurers. Dexterity bonus. Earth rune is characteristic of practical, worldly, and sturdy adventurers. Constitution bonus. Oops, just hit the mic. Fire is pure and intellectual adventurers. Intelligence bonus. Air is strength, and moon is pow, mystical and magical. All right, well, I like the dexterous because sleight of hand, stealing, being quick to steal stuff. So I'm going to completely shift these around. So I'm going to put my primary of darkness now to water. I don't care about a size bonus. Let's go. Yeah, I got to be smart to steal. So let's go. All right, I'm quick and I'm smart. I like that. So then let's go 50 for fire. And then moon will be 20. Okay, based on these characteristics. Now, don't get me wrong, I appreciate all of the depth that you get here. And I guess it determines my weapons. Oh, geez. But, at the end of the day, all I need is this paragraph right here. But maybe not. Okay. Power form ruins. All right, is there a cheat sheet here? Other ruins. Nope. All right. The power ruins represent the strength and nature of an adventurer's personality and their social impulses in Glorantha. They are rooted in the cosmic dualities of the gods world, but also affect the middle world. These ruins consist of 4 opposed pairs of power ruins. They are not only essential to an adventurer's rune magic. Your scores in these power ruins help you play your adventurer in a consistent manner, according to their actual activity in play. Humans have an opposed pair of form ruins, man and beast. These ruins are handled identically to power ruins. The power and form ruins are presented in opposed pairs. The total value of the pair must always equal 100%. So we have death and fertility, harmony and disorder, truth and illusion, stasis and movement. Oh, man and beast. Okay, I got it. All right. Choosing your power form ruins. From the power and form ruins, choose 2 affinities to start with a value of 75, with their opposing starting at 25. The others are 50-50. Okay, I don't know what these mean, but stasis of movement. To be strong with the stasis ruin is to be resolute and unchanging. Such an adventurer may be described kindly as determined or dogged, and less kindly as doctrinaire or abstinent. To be strong with the movement rune is to be changeable, energetic, rebellious, and ambitious. Truth and illusion. Let's see. To be strong with the illusion is to distort truths or fabricate untruths for one's own end. Okay, so definitely illusion is my highest. So I will put illusion at 75. If I'm a smuggler, I got to be able to lie and be quick on my feet. Okay. So harmony and disorder. To be strong with disorder is to place one's own welfare, advantage, or pleasure above all others. Oh, yeah, perfect. Okay, so disorder would be 75. Harmony would be 25. And then I believe it was 50-50. All others are 50-50. Okay. 50. 50. 50. 50, and if it doesn't mention it, I do want to read Man vs. Beast. Man vs. Beast, here we go. Human adventurers may also choose between a dueling pair of forms, man and beast. So, nowhere in here have I seen anything other than humans. So, that's interesting. To be strong with the man ruin is to be civilized, settled, sociable, and ethical. Such adventurers are uncomfortable in the wilderness, preferring lands tamed by humanity. To be strong with the beast ruin is to be bestial, savage, feral, wide, and untamed. Such adventurers are uncomfortable in cultivated lands, preferring the wilderness. I guess 50-50. I don't feel persuaded to go one way or the other. Distribute additional points. You may now distribute 50 points among any of your adventurer's rune affinities. Remember that if a power or form rune affinity is raised, the value of its opposing affinity must be reduced so that the total equals 100. Oh, okay. A value of 80% or more in any rune indicates that your adventurer is strongly tied to the rune. The rune may affect your own control over your adventurer. Their actions may be determined by the rune and contrary to your wishes. As the adventurer develops, these initial values may change and various rewards may become available. So is that only for power? Distribute additional points. You may now distribute 50 points among any of your adventurer's ruin affinities. Okay. So I want to raise my moon up to 40. So I use 20. I really liked illusion. So, okay, let me write this down. I've used 20. I want to bring my disorder up to 85. Which means I have to bring down my harmony to 15. But I used 10, so now I'm at 30. Let's bring... Oh, I think I did that wrong. Yeah, I think I typed that wrong. That's okay. I'm going to go also 85 for disorder, even though I'm typing in illusion because I did that wrong. And then we'll go down in truth. Okay, so that's 40. So I got 10 more. Let's go 10 more into water. Okay. All right, holy baloney. Step 4, almost halfway through. I think this will go faster, this section here. I think this one's pretty straightforward. Adventurers and most other living creatures are defined by 7 characteristics: strength, constitution, size, dexterity, intelligence, power, and charisma. Okay, I don't really need to know what these all do. I just need to know species. We haven't even talked about species. How do I determine these? Tell me what they are. Runequest. Runequest. I ask, you answer. The category is literally determining characteristics. Each characteristic has a numerical value to determine how potent it is. Human adventurers typically have strength, constitution, between 3 and 18, and size and intelligence between 8 and 18. When creating adventurers, these values are usually determined by rolling dice. These values are then modified by the adventurer's 2 highest elemental runes. Roll 3d6 for strength, dex, constitution, power, and charisma, and 2d6 plus 6 for size and intelligence. If the total of all of these results in 92 or less, it seems oddly specific, you may allot up to 3 more points to your adventurer's characteristics as desired. No human characteristic can total more than 18 after you have allocated these extra points. The Game Master's Guide contains optional methods of character generation. Okay, don't care. So let's just get into it. Let's pull this up and let's search roll dice. And I want 3d6. This one won't count. 1, 2, 3, and then let's roll. Do they go in order? Or do I choose where they go? I'm going to assume I choose where they go. Okay, so let's write down. So I need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 8. Let's roll again. I have 9. Let's roll again. Ooh, 17. Thank you. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. This is 4. I have 15. And then I have 8. Ooh. Would have been nice to get like a 12 or 13 in there. And 2d6 plus 6 for size and intelligence. So let's roll 16. And then let's see what the next one is. Also 16. Okay, I'm as big as I am smart. Whether that's good or bad. Okay, so let's bounce here. I want a high charisma and high dexterity. So let's go 17, 15, 17 for charisma, 15 for dexterity. Power is 9. Intelligence is 16. Size is 16. And then 8 is constitution and 8 is strength. Okay. I like the placement of those. Obviously, I wish they were all higher. Okay. Rune modifiers to characteristics. The runes themselves influence an adventurer's characteristics, influencing behavior and development physically, intellectually, spiritually, and even socially. Because of this, each adventurer gets rune modifier bonuses to the characteristics corresponding to their primary, highest secondary elemental rune affinities, which were moon and fire. Okay. My primary must be water, so that gives me a +2 bonus to dex or charisma. Ooh. Sure, let's bump up dex. Okay, got it. Let's +1 to my second, which was fire, intellect, intelligence, or charisma. Sure, let's bump up intelligence to also be 17. Dexterity, charisma, intelligence are all 17. Homeland modifiers. Okay, I'm Graysland, so I get no modifiers. Okay, all right. Cooking with gas. Attributes. Attributes are qualities numerically derived from the values of certain characteristics. Attributes include magic points, hit points, healing rate, damage bonus, maximum encumbrance, and skills category modifiers. Movement is considered an attribute, but it is the same for every human. 8 meters per melee round. Magic points. Okay. Starting to getting a little tired with the process. We're at 45 minutes of making a character. And adventurers' magic points are equal to their current POW. Okay, so where magic points? I saw on a pre-made character sheet that you circle where you are at. So I'm going to just write that I have 9. Okay, that's one benefit. Proof of the benefit of having a pre-made character sheet. Nowhere on here does it say magic points except for this chart. And on this form fillable PDF, there's nowhere to type that out. Okay, hit points. Make sure I'm not skipping something. All adventurers' magic points at the rate of 1/4 of the current power per every 6 hours. If I'm more granular, okay. If I was playing, I would care, but I'm just making a character, so I don't care. Hit points. Total hit points are lost when your adventurer takes... If an adventurer's hit points... Sorry, literally just babbling. The term refers to the total hit points of your adventurer, as well as their hit points per body location. Total hit points are lost when your adventurer takes damage not specific to a specific location, like burns, covering large areas, poison, or other injuries. Hit points per body location are lost when injuries are inflicted upon your adventurer's body in a specific part of the body, such as head, chest, abdomen, or limb. An adventurer's hit points are equal to their con modified by size and POW. The reason for this is obvious. The larger your adventurer is, the more they can soak up damage before taking a mortal wound. Thus, an increase in size equals an increase in hit points. POW also represents the favor of the gods, useful in many ways, particularly avoiding death. Okay, so... confused. I am looking for hit points. Where does it straight up say hit points? I hope that's not in the way here. Occupation, reputation, campaign, ransom, base income, standard of living, player, gender, tribe, armor, and hit locations. Damage, bonus, size. Oh, hit points down here in this box. Okay. So it is determined by my con modified by size. Okay, so con is 8, which is -1, and POW. What, added together? And adventurers' hit points are equal to their con modified by size. Oh, okay, hang on. Con modified by size. So size is 16. So that's +1. So con, 8 plus 1 is 9. And POW is 9. So I start with 18 hit points. I mean, according to this chart, that seems like a lot. Okay, well, I'm going to make a note that I have 18. Okay. Hit location. My total hit points was 18. So each leg is 6. My abdomen is 6. My chest is 7. I don't know, my chest... Oh, yeah, chest is 7. Each arm is 5. And my head is 6. Okay, all right, got it. Check. Making progress. Moving along. Healing rate. My constitution is 8. So I have a healing rate of 2. I just happen to see that goes here. 2 hit points per week. That's natural healing, I guess. Damage bonus. Strength plus size. Strength plus size is 24, so I don't get a bonus. That's okay. I'm fine with that. This is actually matching the character that I'm envisioning, this Han Solo type character. I don't think he would be hindered in damage, but he's definitely not getting a bonus to damage, so that's very fitting. Spirit combat damage. The amount of spiritual damage your adventurer inflicts in spirit combat. Add together POW and Charisma and consult the table. POW plus Charisma, 26. So, spirit combat is 1d6 plus 1. And that doesn't fit in the box. So I'm going to make that a note. Okay. Maximum encumbrance is averaging their strength and con. The maximum limit of this, however, is your adventurer's strength, even if it is lower than the average. Man, we got to do some serious math here. By averaging their strength and con. Okay, strength and con 16, so it'll be 8 is my encumbrance number. Actually, hang on, let me do 0 for bonus die. Encumbrance. Damage bonus, size, dex, healing. Encumbrance. Reputation, ransom, player, homeland, clan, tribe. Let me write Gray's Land up here. I am a dude. I'm in the Asarius cult. Okay. Where is encumbrance? Just randomly on the next page. Thanks for not telling me. Would be 8. Okay. Strike rank. This is something I skipped over multiple times. Strike rank determines who acts first in melee. The lower the strike rank, the sooner in each round of combat your adventurer can act. Combination of their strike ranks from dex and size as determined in the tables below. And the strike for missile weapons is only later in adventure generation. When you know what weapons your adventurer uses, write down the strike ranks. Dex strike rank. Consult the Dex strike rank table below to determine Dex strike rank and fill in the Dex strike rank entry on your adventurer sheet. Okay. So my dexterity is 17. So I get 1. And my size, which is 16, also gets me a 1. I'm not sure how that... you must roll, and then you add 1. You add that number to whatever you roll. I don't know. All right, next category. Skills category modifiers. So that's going to be all this page, and this might take a while. I'm not sure. To determine each skill category modifier, refer to each applicable characteristic on the charts, the left column, looking up its value, the top row, and totaling up the suggested modifiers, the bonus or penalty. Okay. So, agility. For agility skills are physical skills: boat, climb, dodge, drive. An adventurer's agility skill category modifier is determined by referring to the following chart, consulting each relevant characteristic and its value, and adding up the bonuses. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so my strength is 8, no bonus. My size is 16, no bonus. My dexterity is 17, plus 10 bonus. My POW is 9, no bonus. So I'm at plus 10 for agility. 10%. Okay. Communication. My intelligence is 17, so plus 5. My POW is 9, nothing. My charisma is 17, so that's 10, so 15 for communication. Okay. Knowledge. Intelligence is 17, so plus 10. POW is 9, so nothing, so plus 10 for knowledge. Got it. Okay. We're almost at the 1 hour mark already. Magic. Charisma 17, so that is 5%. So not really good with the magic. That's okay. Manipulation. So this I should be good at. Strength, no. Let's see. Dexterity is 17. So I get plus 10 from that. Intelligence is 17. I get 10 from that. POW is 9. I get nothing from that. So plus 20 for manipulation. Okay. Perception. Intelligence and POW. Intelligence 17. So 10%. Nothing for POW. 10%. Okay. Oh, only about 45 more to go. We're getting there. Don't you worry. Stealth. Okay, I should be good at this too. Okay, size 16. Ooh, minus 5 for this, okay? I gotta remember minuses now. Dexterity is 17. That's 10. So 10 minus 5 is we're at 5. Intelligence is 17. 10% bonus. So now we're at 15. POW doesn't do anything. Okay, stealth skills is 15%. Other skills, I think that's going to be a different category. Or are we done? No. Skill-based chance. The base percentage chance for a given skill is expressed as a parenthetical value, such as 5 or 0. The base chance is the likelihood that any human would have to perform a skill successfully for the first time. Most skills have base chances. A few skills have a base chance derived from a characteristic, such as dexterity times 3. Add the base chance to the appropriate skills category and add the base chance to the appropriate skills category modifier and to any cultural skill bonus explained in steps 5 and 6, plus any personal skill bonus explained in step 7. Okay, what step are we on? Are we on 4? I think we are on 4. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Yeah, step 4. Okay, that was a lot. Okay, so now I am going to, if I remember, if I can find it in the edit without taking forever, I'm going to pause and cut and come back with all these numbers, but I'm going to keep the timer going to show you just how long this takes. All right, that wasn't too bad. That was actually only like 5 or 6 minutes. All right, got all my stats here. And something pretty good to go over is what do all these numbers mean? Well, the higher the number, the easier it is to roll under them. That's like the main gist. But if it's 25 or less, you are a novice. 26 to 50%, you're an amateur. 51 to 75, you're professional. 76 to 90, you're a veteran. 91 or higher, you are a master. Some of the things I'm really good at are dodging and jumping. I am okay at charming and intimidating. I am really good at speaking horse tongue. I am a professional at pure horse tongue. Pretty good at homeland lore. And probably my next is perception, listening, scanning, and searching. One was hide, which I was a little bummed that I wasn't better at that, and moving quietly. But that's I'm only, well, there's no levels, but I'm sure at times you can advance your skills, and that's how you level. But all right, we are on the next step, which is occupation. So we are halfway through, and we are at the 1 hour and 10-minute mark. If this takes much longer, or if this one takes a while, I'll be honest, I'm going to take a break and come back and record at a different time. It is getting late. All right, step 5, occupation. Let's see, can I be anything I want? Homelands, all. Okay, so let's see. I'll go alphabetical order. Assistant shaman, I don't think so. Bandit, that's probably what I want. Crafter, chariot driver, fisher, entertainer, healer, farmer. There's an artwork of a farmer with a shield. Okay. A herder, which given my homeland is probably an option as well. A noble, a hunter, philosopher, scribe, priest. Ooh, thief and bandit. I gotta look up the difference between those. Warrior, types of warriors. Okay. A thief. Though members of every culture steal, only civilized lands have enough people to support internal predators. A professional thief likely follows one or more of these professions: burglar, cutpurse, henchman, pimp, pitchman, racketeer, or smuggler. Well, smuggler is probably what I want. Actually, I mean, that is what I want. But let's just go look up and see what a bandit is. Are found on the outskirts of many communities, preying on them like a wolf prey on a herd. Some are there by choice, many more are outlaws and unable to return to their homes without severe repercussions. Let's see. What was my cult? Started with an I, right? All right. They do not support my cult. Does that mean I can't be it? Let's see. Their skills are intimidate, hide, first aid. I don't know if you can hear Ranger huffing and puffing my pooch. What are you barking at? Yeah, exactly. Lore, secondary weapon. Okay, so he's really good at weaponry. Let's see, what is a thief? Their skills are... Oh, let's see, cult. Where's cult? My cult is also not in here. Climb, devise, fast talk, hide, move quietly. I kind of like devise and disguise. Let's go back up to bandit. Intimidate, hide, first aid, primary weapon, lore, secondary weapon, survival, shield. Favored passions: love, family, loyalty, or hate. Okay, let's go back and look at thief. Oh, here, slight. Okay, I like this one, slight. Okay, yeah, and devise, yeah, thief is what I want. Okay, so go back up to the top. My occupation is a thief. I mean, it doesn't have my homeland, so let me back up. Does it have to match everything? The homelands where the occupation is common, quote, all indicates that the occupation is present in all homelands. So thieves are just not common. It doesn't say I can't do it. So, okay. And you know what? Per maximum game fun, it is what I want to do. Maybe I steal horses. Yes, flavor. Uh-oh, totally lost the page I was on. I was just randomly scrolling. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah. It's getting late. Getting late for me. Okay. So now I have to add these to my skills. So climb plus 10. Climb is 60. Devise is where? Devise is where? Where are you, you pesky devise? Control F. Devise. Okay. I think this Control F doesn't work on the character sheet because I'm pretty sure it's a scan. I don't think it's actually like a printed on document. Where is devise? Okay, devise. There it is. Devise is plus 10, so I go from 25 to 35. Disguise is plus 30. Yeah, I guess Han Solo dresses up as a stormtrooper, right? So disguise. I guess that works. Plus 30, so I go from 20 to 50. Slight. This one I like a lot. That should be under manipulation. Yep, okay. Slight is 30. I wonder why some are bold. Fast talk is plus 30, so go from 20 to 50. Hide 25 to 35. Lore local. Where are you? Lore. Homeland lore. Is that local? Your own? It must be own. Okay, plus 10, so we'll go to 50. Move quietly is plus 30. So we're at 55. Cultural weapon. Pick type. Let's go with let's go with a dagger, which is 15, so this would be 30. But I don't know what my modifier for melee weapons is. I have to figure that out later. But I know I'm going to get 30. All right. Standard of living is poor. That seems accurate. Base income 30. I don't know what that means, but okay. The cults are not what I need, but that's fine. I'm just like making up excuses, right? Well, it doesn't fit, but I want it anyways, so suck it, Trebek. Favored passions. I feel like that's gonna be not on these first couple pages. Family events, holdings, adventurer background. Yeah, passions. Okay. So I have love. I'm just gonna put an X there that like I have it. I don't know what it means. Or loyalty to a gang. Yeah, I'll say other. I'm gonna put gang. Ransom. 250. Oh, there was something that said, what is ransom? Few Gloranthian societies have a centralized criminal justice system. Instead, crimes against a person are addressed by blood feud. If an outsider harms a member of a kinship group, justice requires the rest of kinship group avenge the victim. Usually the entire clan joins in. Ransom, also called life price, is a method of ending a blood feud by payment of goods and money in recompense for the damage done. One's ransom is also a measure of social rank. It is more expensive to kill a noble than a hunter. Standard ransoms are listed with each occupation. Finally, one's ransom is the customary amount paid to free someone when they have been taken captive as the result of combat. Okay, interesting flavor. Again, width and depth. Runequest has it both. That's the nice way of me saying it's crunchy. Let's see. That's everything for a thief. Equipment. Okay. That goes, I think, on the second page. Notes. Gear, treasure. Okay, so my gear. I should have looked at Bandit's gear. I guess I have lockpick, Jimmy, or other appropriate tools. A light, one-handed weapon. Well, I already kind of sort of picked the dagger. A mask. We'll go 60 feet of rope. With grapple, a sack, hooded lantern, 30L of coin, and a secret thieves mark. Okay. Yeah, step 6. All right. It is getting late. I am 1 hour and 23 minutes into character creation. So I will come back tomorrow. Later. All right. It is the next day for me. And let's keep it going. We are at an hour and a half, hour and 23 minutes, according to my stopwatch for creating a character. And I just looked. As far as the editing process goes, this episode's almost at 3 hours long. So it's going to be maybe 4 hours by the time we're all said and done, which is pretty crazy. Okay, step 6 says cult. Children become adults after a formal initiation ceremony, parts of which are the most closely held magical secrets of the community. Blah, blah, blah. An adventurer should start play as an initiate of a cult. The player should select the cult of a deity that the adventurer has at least one ruin rating with at least 50% common with the deity. So I've already decided that my cult is... my cult versus clan. Cult is Asarius. Does that match one of my ruin ratings? I don't know. I don't remember. As an initiate, your adventurer starts play with 3 ruin points dedicated to that cult. Okay, so I'm going to write 3 points. Ruin points measure the connection between the cultist and the deity and determine how much of the deity's magic the cultist can call upon. Additional points of POW can be sacrificed to increase the number of ruin points and ruin spells at the start of play. Each cult contains the following entries. All right, my POW is already pretty low, so I don't think I want to start sacrificing anything right now. Okay, runes. Only those runes present on the adventurer sheet are listed. Many cults have additional runes beyond this. Each cult entry contains the following. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I don't really care about the breakdown of all. Let's go to Asarius. Okay, right here. So because of my cult, let's see, what are their runes? This little, I don't know, yin and yang, three-legged yin and yang thing. Okay, that's at 50, so that's good. And then my 3 lines are harmony, which is at 15, so that's bad. But I guess it said that I should have at least 1 at 50, which I do. Okay. Cult starting skills. Bargain is at 15%. So now I got to find all of these things. So this is going to go up to 35. Speak other language, trade talk plus 20. Okay, we're at 45. Sing is plus 10. Okay, 35. Special rune magic. Create market. Lock, passage, path, watch, and spell trading. Okay, so rune magic. I believe these are the spells that I can cast. So I get create market. And I do want to look these up. Lock, passage, path, watch, and spell trading. Okay. Cult spirit magic. Okay, spirit magic. Got it. Counter magic. If you just heard that, that was Ranger tootin'. It's pretty loud. Detect enemies. Detect enemies. Farsi. Glamour. Glue. Mobility. And repair. Next, favored passions. Loyalty. Passions, I think, are down here. Loyalty. Favored passion. Loyalty. Temple. I have gang on here. That's from my thief background, but I'm also gonna put temple here. I don't know what that means, but I have it. And associated cults, I don't care about that for now. All right, let's see. Cult starting skills, got that. Yep. Cult spirit magic. Cult sorcery. If your cult teaches sorcery, you may start with up to 3. Okay, so let me make sure. Skills, rune magic, spirit magic, No sorcery. Okay. All right, that was 6. All right, that was the fastest one yet, I do believe. Step 7, personal skill bonuses. Adventurers have personal interests beyond that demanded by their occupation, cult, and culture. Add 25% to any 4 skills on the adventurer sheet and 10% to 5 or more skills. No skill may be raised to above 100 in this step. If your adventurer has a skill at 100 or greater through a combination of base chance, history boons, skill category bonus, culture skill bonus, occupational skill bonuses, and cult skill bonuses, you cannot add additional personal skill bonuses to that skill. So let's go over that again. Your skills are determined by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. Yikes. Again, width and depth. You've got it here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my skills. And I can just move things around that I want to be good at. So I want to be good at, let's see, boat, climb, dodge. Ooh, I could get dodge up to 100. Let's see. All right, bargain. I definitely want bargain up 25. So that would be 60. Okay, let me mark down that I did one of those. Let's see. Charm. I feel like I kind of want that up as well. Knowledge. Again, I'm going for the Han Solo type character. My magic is pretty low, so that probably should get bumped up as well. Conceal. That I want higher. So let's go to 50. Mark down that I did 2 of those. 2 down, 2 to go. Sleight. Yep, let's add 25 to that. So we're at 80. I'm at 3. And 1 more. One more. Let's see. Act, art, bargain, charm, dance, disguise. I like fast talk too. Let's see if I can get lucky and if I can find fast talk. Okay, yes. But what is fast talk? Bargaining is about compromise. Use fast talk or orate to resolve arguments that are absolutely won or lost. Okay. That's very close to what I want, but fast talk. Got a sneeze coming. Hang on. Fast talk does not work on more than a handful of people. Orate might take hours to unify. Okay, I guess I understand the difference there. Okay, fast talk. Here we go. Successful use of fast talk causes the target to agree with whatever the fast talker is saying, deceiving the target into thinking that the user is logically correct. Okay, so it's exactly what I thought it was. Okay, so oh, I got distracted. Shoot. I think that would be 75. I think. Okay. I can't remember if I already put that in, but I must not have. Okay. So, great. Now let's go to step 7. All right. Okay, so now I have to do 10% to 5 skills. All right. That's 5. Again, my magic should probably be higher. But let's see. All right. Because Han Solo has the Millennium Falcon, I'm going to up boat as my vehicle from 15 to 25. So 1 down. Drive, I'm going to bump that up to 25. All right. I think communication's been pretty good. What do I want to increase? I can't do conceal. I think I already did that. Tricky. Perception. Okay, let's do this. Insight. No, let's go scan. 45, that's 3. Track. That's 4. Ship handling. What's the difference between ship handling, boat, and drive? I don't know. Okay, we'll go that. So 1 more. Let's go with let's go yeah, just listen to the background music that's playing because I just can't figure out what to do for this last one. Let's go. I have spirit combat. It's already my highest one. Let's make it even better. Okay. That is step 7. And so we are on the last step, ladies and gentlemen. Step 8, other information. Let's see, could be 15 million other things. All right. Gender. Let's see. I think I already have this. I wish I could get rid of this thing. Oh, can I? I can just move it over there. Okay. Genders. Dude. Name. Check. Age and year born. Your adventurer is assumed to be 21 years old. Interesting. With Game Master approval, you can be older or younger, although It impacts the family history table, which we skipped. That's kind of crazy. Of all the ways you can customize your character, it's assumed that you're 21 years old. To determine the specific season, week, and day of birth, you can follow this procedure. Season. The highest rated element rune is your season of birth. My highest is water. So... does that mean anything? Week. Your highest rated power rune corresponds to the week within that season. If you have two equally high runes, pick one. And the day. Okay. Family heirlooms. Okay, where do I find... Where do I find what water means for my season? The water season? Okay, well, Control F. Season. Well, there's 195 instances of that, so water season. No. Okay, if I just search water, 95. Not going through that. I don't even know. Family history, where this goes. My history. I don't know. Treasures and boons. Maybe that comes later. Let's see. Read this little side box here. In step 2, you might have decided to create an adventurer older than 21 years old. For every 10 years older you make your adventurer, add the following bonuses. Add 5% to 4 different occupations or cult skills. Blah, blah, blah. As described on page 79, these skill bonuses cannot increase beyond 100%. Adventurers gain no additional experience over the age of 60, although they do lose characteristic points. Okay, I don't see where you figure out what season you were born in, and if that even matters. Days of the week: freeze day, water day, clay day, winds day, fire day, wild day, God's day. Okay, very interesting. Handedness: all adventurers are assumed to be right-handed. Left-handedness is associated with dragons. Okay. Scars: some background results yield one or more impressive scars. You can pick the location and nature of those scars. I feel like I did say I had a scar, but could 100% be making that up. Family: you should choose names from the homeland list for your adventurer's father name and your adventurer's mother's name. You can do the same with any siblings or other kin created in step 2, or just wait until later to name them. Well, I don't want to do it, but let's do it. So now I gotta just remember that I'm on page 82 and then go and find the clan I was Grazeland. So let's control F. Grazeland. I think on page 62 I'll get names, culture skills, culture weapons. Oh, dagger was plus 10%. What is my dagger at? Yeah, that's probably... Oh, man. I don't remember. Dagger was 15. I don't know where I got this modifier from to make it 30. Well, that would mean that I had another 15. So I think I'm going to go change this to 40. Just making it up, I guess. I'm not sure. Lance is 15. I don't have any of these, so I must not have done it. I don't even know what my base melee weapon modifier is. Okay, so... Well, I want a dagger. Okay, small shield is 15, so base is 15, so that's at least 30. Okay, yeah. If I didn't say it out loud, I remember thinking, like, well, I'm kind of ignoring this whole column here. Let's see. Can I... Missile... Can't spell. Missile weapons. Let's see if I can get lucky. Okay, no. Okay, I'm in the wrong track here. So what step of character creation? Come on, table of contents. Adventurers. I need step 4. Okay. Control F. Step 4. Size, intelligence, power, charisma, dexterity. Okay, yep. Attributes, magic points, hit points, healing rate, spirit combat damage. Okay, I must have missed some of this. Healing rate. I want to say I do have that. Healing rate was like a third or something. Healing rate 2 per week. Okay. Damage bonus. Strength plus size 24, nothing. Okay. Spirit combat damage. Okay, I must have missed this paragraph. The amount of spirit damage your adventurer inflicts in spirit combat. Add together POW and charisma. POW and charisma. So it's 26, which is 1d6. 1d6 plus 1. Okay, messed up the zoom there. 1d6 plus 1. Okay, got it. All right. Maximum encumbrance. Here's a tip. There's so much going on here. These should be like numbered or lettered to say like here's A, and then give me a page where it points exactly to where. I guess it doesn't even have to be labeled. Just give me an arrow of where is it on the character sheet. Maximum encumbrance. The total amount of stuff measured by encumbrance points, ENC. Size, healing rate. Oh, here's passions. Passions was on like, yeah, gang and temple. So I don't even know like what to put there. Encumbrance. You would think it goes like somewhere around here. Wheels, lunars. Oh, encumbrance 8. Why is that? It is your adventurer's strength. The total amount of stuff is measured in encumbrance points your adventurer can carry or wear and still function normally is determined by averaging the strength. Okay, all right, yeah, I got that already. So I'm still looking for like melee weapon modifier and missile weapon modifier. Agility skills, knowledge, communication, magic, perception, manipulation, stealth. And then that's it. There, stealth stops right here in this column. And then it just completely, there's no melee weapon. Okay. Skill based chance. I mean, we're getting close to 2 hours here making this character. I mean, isn't that just insane? Base skill. Homeland cultural skill. Let me do a search for melee. 255 melee modifier. Let's just search modifier. 124. Okay, I'm not searching through those. I mean, how am I missing it? Occupation skills. Okay, I'm gonna go to the internet. Runequest. Melee modifier. Oh, great. What is this? With the release of Runequest Roleplay in Glorantha on PDF, this thread to catch typos, errors spotted, please note them. Oh, okay. Well, somebody here put pages 57 to 60 lack rules for determining the modifiers for melee weapon, missile weapon, natural weapon, and shield skills, or a cross-reference. Okay, so somebody else had a problem. Let's see if I can find that to see if somebody has answered it. There's only at least... No, it looks like there's 10 pages. Page 63 doesn't say whether a player gets to pick the character's occupation. Okay. Use the manipulation modifier, page 59. Okay, I mean, isn't this sad? I have to go to the internet to figure it out. 59. Manipulation. Manipulation skills require... Wait, hang on. That's these here. Good hand-eye coordination. They include conceal, craft, devise, play, instrument, sleight, and all weapon skills, including shields, missile weapons, and natural attacks. I mean, I guess shame on me that I didn't read it, but if you're going to lay out every other skill by title, well, I guess you're supposed to read that one too. So, okay. Shame on me. Okay. Manipulation skills category. Okay, so now I don't remember how this works. An adventurer's manipulation skill category modifier is determined by consulting... Oh, that's right. You have to add all of these up. Oh, my God. Okay. Strength, 8. No bonus. Dex, 17. Plus 10. Intelligence, 17. Plus 10. POW, 9. No bonus. Okay, so plus 20. And that must be for all of these. You're just instantly good at all weapons and shields of the same type, given your stats, I guess. Okay, so that means my small shield is a 50, and my dagger is 60. Oops, not 6. 60. All right, well, hey, we got the answer. Shame on me for not reading it, but clearly somebody else had the same problem. Posted it on the internet. Okay, all right, we got that. So now let's go back. Step 8. Okay, yep. Oh, went too far. Too far. Almost there. Getting there. Okay, scars. I don't think I have any scars. Family. We skipped all that. Tribe, city, and clan. With your game master's approval, pick a tribe or city from your homeland that your adventurer belongs to. With your game master, pick or make up a clan that your adventurer belongs to. See example clans. Or tribe? Well, I already have a clan, so yeah, okay, I guess I'm good there. Family heirloom. Each beginning adventurer may roll once on the family heirlooms table to find one additional valuable and colorful possession. Make up where and why of this if necessary. If you decide you don't want the item provided, ignore it, or you can sell it once play begins if appropriate. All right, so it's a D20. Let's go roll dice. Roll a D20, whatever this one says. 7. A small stone figurine of a crested dragon oot pointing in a direction. The figure is a 1-point spell matrix for a find substance spell. The player chooses what specific substance. Okay. Is a 1-point spell matrix for find. Yeah, right. Like, I'm going to know what that is. I'm going to put it down in magic notes. And deal with that later. Okay. So, starting reputation depends on their family history and occupation. Simply by being a member of a clan or community, an adventurer starts with a reputation of 5%. Most poor occupations add no reputation, free occupations add 5, and most noble occupations add 10. An adventurer might get a reputation bonus due to their family history and or family heirloom. Roll on that table if indicated. Well, I skipped the family part, and because I'm a thief, I imagine I don't get a bonus. So reputation, if I start with 5, then I have 5. That's a guess. Now, somewhere in here, I believe that starting gear was assigned at step 8, other information. I believe that's what the little guide said. Step 8. Let's go back to it. Give your adventurer a name and determine other information needed, such as gender, equipment, family heirloom, etc. Okay, when I think of equipment, I think of like what weapon, rope, maybe, adventuring gear. So let's go down to step 8, and you tell me. Gender, name, age, handedness, scars, family, tribe, city, clan, family heirloom, starting reputation, movement. Nowhere does it say equipment. Control F. Equipment. Mentioned 50 times. Let's see if I can get lucky and do starting. No. Okay. Equipment. Going through. I mean, there's 50 things. Equipment and wealth. Well, page 403. So this was something we definitely didn't go over in the character creation. Casting spell. I remember briefly going over this page. The following is not an exhaustive list of goods and services that can be bought in Glorantha. It provides color for the sort of equipment. The Runequest Game Master's Guide contains additional information on equipment made of iron. Okay. Well, regardless, in that step, nowhere did it mention equipment. So, what do I start with? What's my beginning weapon? Whatever I want? I know somewhere it mentioned, like, based on my clan or my tribe or something, that, like, I was good with a dagger, or maybe it was my occupation. But does that mean that I just start with that? Do I start with a small shield? I would like to. So I just get to? You know, that's kind of how I ended Mythras with. I was like, okay, well, I did everything they said, and I'm almost positive that I didn't have any spells written down. I was just like, I don't know. I just didn't know what to do. So skipping over family, skipping over what weapons and gear I have. You know, I would leave it up to an experienced GM to tell me what I'm missing. And so looking at my timer, I'm at 2 hours and 6 minutes. Took me 2 hours and 6 minutes to make a character. I don't know how to feel, and I'm not even 100% sure that I have everything. Added on my list, my to-do list. I really should make an episode all about 5th edition, because I would love to make a character. It's been a while since I've made a character, and see how long that would take. I bet you, now granted, I'm very familiar with that, so I would factor that in, but I bet I could make a non-wizard character in 25 minutes. I'm familiar with that, but I would like to see the step-by-step process and how that all works. I might even do it non-recording just to I'm just curious about it. Or you know what? I've been thinking about getting more involved with YouTube, and maybe I'll make a YouTube exclusive video. We shall see. So, how do I feel about this? 8.5 out of 10. I'm not really confident. Like here, I have 0 passions. What weapons do I start with? Do I get a bow? Do I also get uh, a bow to start with? I, I don't. I don't really know. If I were to attack somebody with my dagger, I'd have to roll under 60. How much damage does a dagger do? Let's look that up. Okay, well, there's 52 instances of dagger. So I want to find where weapons are. Okay. Where would that be in the table of contents? Let me go. I've been here enough. I don't think so. Is there even an index? Okay, there is. So let's go to weapons. Weapon skills. I literally just want the list of weapons. Is there melee weapons? Melee round with 1,000 different entries. Melee weapon. Page 60. Some are bookmarked, some are not. That's weird. Okay, this must be like a spell. Let's go to page 60. The first instance of it. No. Okay, I just want to know how much damage does a dagger do? I mean, this just goes to... it's got to be a complete fail, because... What do I don't have a weapon. You know, my anger is getting... My anger level is rising. Weapon 446. weapon table. Page 2. There's 2 instances of missile weapon tables, page 212. Let's see. Oh, I think we're close. Okay, here they are. Page 211. Pole weapon spears. I want to see what the title of this section is. Oh, combat? I think I had this problem before. It's under combat. Why is it not listed in the index? That's just a shame. Okay, swords and daggers. I have a dagger. Base percentage. Do I add that? There's a dagger. There's a parrying dagger. There's a throwing dagger. Different encumbrance levels. Okay, so just to say that I have something. Melee, I have straight up dagger. Base 15. I don't know what that means. I do want to look that up. 1d4 plus 2. Encumbrance is 4, which so that's already half of the stuff, right? My encumbrance is 8. That's crazy. Oh yeah, and armor. What armor do I start with? Okay, now I'm mad. You cannot tell me that. Okay, let me go back to the internet. Runequest starting armor. I noticed some of the pre-gen characters have equipment, followers, and mounts not included in their occupations. Are you allowed to spend cash? That's not what I want. Starting Runequest. How do you like to choose starting equipment? This is for OSR. Starting Runequest. The core rules, next step. Let me see if I can get lucky and search weapon. Strike ranks are essentially 10 to 12. Takes 5 seconds to draw a weapon. Okay, now. Runequest starting gear. Review of weapons. Let's see. I wish I could find the web page corrections thread. Search for starting armor. Let's just search armor. I know this has got to be the most boring thing to listen to, but with no armor protection. So let's go back to the combat section and see if we can just find armor here and see if it says here what do you get? Shooting into melee. Armor. Armor is the last barrier between an adventurer and an incoming weapon. Armor absorbs damage and hopefully keeps the adventurer intact. The amount of damage a piece of armor can absorb is described as its armor points. The higher the better. Different hit locations may wear different forms of armor. An adventurer might wear a plate cuirass with a linen skirt and leather leggings, for example. Unlike weapons and shields, the armor points for armor rarely change. Even if a blow exceeds the armor points, armor is designed for defense and it can take a lot of pounding. Its armor points rarely, if ever, reduce through damage. In any case, if armor is damaged, the appropriate craft skill is used to repair it. Explanation of headings, armor materials, armor types. Doesn't tell me what I start with. Explanation of headings. Shields, all about shields. Doesn't tell me if I can start with a shield. Right? I went through all the steps. 2 hours. I mean, I stopped my timer, but we're going to get close to 2.5 hours. If I were to really look through it and really try to find it, we'd be at 3 hours, which is what Mythras took me. And even then, I wasn't done. So let's wrap things up here. It's time. Final thoughts on Runequest. Role-playing in Glorantha. There's a lot of pros. There's a lot of cons. Would I ever play this? Yes. Would I ever run it? No. I would need somebody that's well-versed in Runequest to hold my hand through this process. Major pros I like the hit locations. I like all of these different skills. I forget how leveling works, but being that there are no levels per se, but you level up your skills. I mean, let's see if I can find that. Level 45. Alright, like good luck finding it. Advancement is maybe that's what they call it. Jeez. Add. What? Okay, let's go to the Googles. Runequest. What happens when you level up? Embarrassing question. Character levels. I feel dumb because I'm on vacation. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry for the basic question. Are there character levels? Runequest and basic roleplay do not have levels. This was a defining difference between D&D and derived D20 systems. Character progression is skill, spell, equipment, relationship based. Okay, this is what I'm guessing. So with skill progression, how does it work? Is it adjudicated by the GM based on appropriate quests? Thanks again. If you succeed at using a skill, after the scenario, you can roll to see if you get 1d6 gain in that skill. Your odds of getting the skill increase go down as the skill goes up. Some spells are treated as skills, as are runes. If you succeed in a skill, after scenario, you roll to see if you get a 1d6 gain in that skill. Well, how do the odds increase? You definitely get much more powerful, better you are at things on a specific level, but there's a clear progression to Rune Lord. Once a season, you roll against any skills you successfully used. If you roll over the skill die, i.e. you fail it, then you have learned and can add 1d6 to a skill. Okay, I understand that. If you spend an entire season training a skill, you get 1d6 minus 1 or 2-point improvement. Well, that's weird. If you feel like this would be really, really slow, you are correct. The higher the skill, the more important training becomes versus just using the skill. Your stat bonus also boosts your chance of raising a skill. So I guess that makes sense. If you're training, then you're guaranteed to improve. So I get that. But you tell me, where is that? Where is that in the character sheet, or excuse me, in the rule book? Let me go to the main table of contents. Between adventures. Making an experience roll. Okay, there it is. At the end of each season. Training. All right, it's there. Now I know. That was the least of my issues. But now I know. It's there. And again, that's kind of, I mean, I'm just in a negative space right now on it. But when I read between adventures, like, I think that means like downtime. It doesn't mean leveling up, but that's me. Okay. Runequest. Final thoughts that I started, and I'm babbling at this point because I'm just negative towards RuneQuest. For the $18, this was a fun experiment for my 50th episode. I want to like RuneQuest. I want to like it. Mythras, I want to like it. You've got the depth and the width. It is there, and the people that play it, kudos to you for being smarter than me, having more experience than me. If it's your jam, great. But man, it's more than I need to enjoy the hobby. That's probably the best way that I can say it. All right, we'll wrap it up. Kudos, thank you to all my followers, all my listeners. There aren't many of you out there, but if you stuck it to the end, you are a true warrior of roll around and find out, and I love you. All right. Keep being creative. See you in the next episode.